This is Limitless 333 on Discord, known as Strategic Gamer, and I'm back for round 2 of the Legends of Runeterra first seasonal tournament. We should be led in here in a minute. We are currently 1-0. Okay, our opponent's on, looks like 2 Targon mid-range decks in Shen Fiora. Shen Fiora is generally pretty weak to Ruination. His list is on 2 Deny and no Nopify. So yeah, his list is particularly weak to Ruination. Lux Garen. I'm not actually familiar with Lux Garen. Just looks like a Targon mid-range deck targeting decks like Fearsome. It has a Radiant Guardian, so it's good against aggro. And it has 2 Mind Splitter. Mind Splitter's interesting to note because that's good against my Field of Rush deck. And this deck is a ramp deck trying to rush to Rillian Soul. It's on 1 Bastion. Let's see how many Bastions are in this list. 2 Bastions. Okay. So all the decks have some kind of response to Ruination. I think I'm gonna ban Shen Fiora. I just think Shen Fiora is a stronger deck than these ramp decks, or than these Targon decks. Just looking through this to see 3 Mystic Shots, so just anti-aggro. Rather just not play against the Deny. Rather play against the Mind Splitter and Vengeance it. My lineup's good against mid-range decks. These are just mid-range decks. Yeah, I can't think of a particular reason to ban the Garen Lux over the Shen Fiora. Citri of the Bold is really good against Go Hard. Has Deny for Field of Rush. Has Sharp Sight and Barriers, which can mess with the Raven Ezreal plan. Now I'll go through the 2 lists I'm not banning pretty slowly. Alright, 1 Blinding Assault to trigger the Radiant Guardian, 2 Hush. Okay, only 2 Hush. 2 Hush, 2 Bastion. Okay, 2 Hush, 2 Bastion, 2 Mind Splitter. This one's on 3 Hush. 1 Bastion. No Mind Splitter. actually think my opponent will ban Feel the Rush because these two decks are particularly weak against Ruination, and the best thing they have to stop it is Bastion. I think he's more likely to, my opponent, the Chad Stride, is more likely to take the chances against Draven Ezreal here. I was just taking notes on the counts of the Hushes. I'm gonna ban the Shen Fiora. And as I thought, ban the Feel the Rush deck. Just picking Draven Ezreal. I think Draven Ezreal is pretty good against pretty much everything in the meta. We'll see which deck our opponent decides to pick first. Looks like we're using the Garen Lux deck. Let's see if we can get some big tri-beams. Okay, Culling Strike isn't particularly good in this matchup. I don't think I need Ezreal early here. The beams are good though. They'll kill his large units. Okay, no way to generate parts. A good thing I'm doing some passing here.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
Let's see if he gets like, I can't remembrance now, which is nice.
Devotion to battle.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Punish transgressions.
Yeah, I just don't really have a lot to say here. Sure. This doesn't really accomplish much. So I could Static Shock here. Rather just save the spell mana though. These units are not threatening. My opponent will probably just pass here, but I don't have anything very beneficial to do. I don't need to be aggressive. There's a Tri-Beam, so now I have a reason to start playing things. So he's gonna attack and then play Radiant Guardian. So I need this to be on 6. So I guess I just have to pass. And I think I want to kill the killer this turn. Trying to think of ways around it. If I wanted to play more cards, I could go 3, 4, 8. This will deal 3 damage. This will deal 3 damage. Will technically work. We'll see what happens.
Virtue guides me.
I think Thermogenic Beam's just better. So next turn my opponent's gonna play Lux, for example, and then I can like Static Shock plus Ravenous Flock the Lux. Yeah.
Follow the horizon.
And then let's assume our opponent's gonna actually play the Lux. I don't want to really kill Lux immediately. I would like to if I could, but I don't think that's reasonable. So I'll go ahead and play the Draven.
It's Draven
And I can
time.
break the Sun Grid. And our opponent's likely to have Lux here. Hasn't had early game.
Unyielding light.
Who doesn't have Lux? It's probably good for it. Yeah, there's no reason to want to attack here, so we'll just go ahead and attack. I've noted our Ezreal only I think has 1. Yeah, 1 of 6. Tribeam's getting buffed. That's always good. Probably going to have to make sure I haven't answered the bash when I go to Tribeam. Yeah, it's annoying. At least I get an answer.
My beautiful face.
Didn't want to attack there because you don't want the 4-3 to trade with the 3-3. It lets these 2 units through. Who knows? Maybe the 4-3 is going to be causing our opponent's issues also.
My heart and sword for Demacia.
So here I want to kill the Garen. So the ways to kill the Garen: can Static Shock Ravenous Flock, and then if, let's say, the opponent plays Bastion, then that doesn't work too well. Then I can just Scorched Earth it, I guess. 4, 5, and good to go. 4, 7. So we probably just do this. Start with a Mystic Shot, I think, with the Ravenous Flock. Then use Static Shock in response to Bastion.
Devotion to battle.
That was similar to Bastion. This is actually not good though. You could have Pale Crusade here. Ooh, had the Pale Crusade. Yeah, that really sucks.
Have faith.
Yeah. I still think all that was the right play.
Stay resolute.
You cannot control for everything. So I gotta be careful about just dropping half air in here. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a winning play. I think Draven will work out pretty well.
Your arrogance will prove your downfall.
Man, are you always like this?
Stay safe out there.
I was gonna tell you that.
This is bad against Pale Crusade again, but I don't think I can play around another Pale Crusade at this point. Ooh, had lucky there.
Demacian steel. Try Demacian magic.
Yeah, so I think this did too. That was just a little bit too much. Alright, so I could rummage here. So let me count mana. I'll make this deal 5. He can have Bastion here. Still gonna go for the culling stick. This will deal 5 and give a blocker.
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
Opponent is reasonably likely to have Bastion. This might bait out Bastion too. I can't play all 3 of these. If I could play all 3 of these, I would do that instead.
Trespassers!
No cheers. You fall alone.
Pushing my limits!
Now, this doesn't for sure get me killed, so I gotta go for it. The other plays for sure get me killed. Alright,
Demacian steel. Try Demacian magic.
I don't think there's anything to draw here. Nah, he's not damaged, so it doesn't work.
Charge!
Away. Only loose.
I will not falter!
And then again, doesn't have the berry. Then the 5 health unit keeps us alive. Here the game plan's similar. Just get a lot of card draw. Try to outmatch the opponent. Again, just gonna do some passing.
And fear the heretics.
We'll probably put a House Spider, especially in response to the Shield Bear.
Follow the horizon.
And now we'll just pass. Better to have the spell mana.
It's Draven time.
Unyielding light.
Punish transgressions.
It's still right to block the 2-2 even if he has a combat trick. The goal is to win the long game through value. I have 2 Sump Dredgers.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
Looks like it's just a mystic shot.
Know your path, for the mountain changes.
I want to kill the mountain sprayer. Mountain sprayer is scary. I have another Sunbreaker. I'd rather save
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
the tribe. It's also Pale Crusade doesn't work here.
Raven down.
You're just gonna go for stats. I'm gonna trade the 4-3 away. Here I have a tempo advantage. Also, Tri-Beam is getting pretty big. And with Tri-Beam big, we can respond directly to a 5
Sunlight
health
guide
point.
you, my brethren.
I don't want to play anything. I need to have 7 next turn, at least. So we'll have 8, but so I could spend 1, but I can't spend 2 because I need to play Draven into the Tri-Beam to have it deal 5.
You cannot sway me.
Back, heretic.
Trespassers! Ah!
Probably gonna play the Tri-Beam anyway. I'll just take 3. This is more aggressive. I'm gonna open attack next turn because my opponent's next play is gonna be Eclipse Dragon.
I become who I was always meant to be. Look within.
Also can't dash, which is good.
My journey ends.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
Yeah, now I can't open attack the static shot. Quite annoying. It's not worth getting chump blocked.
First light illuminates the land.
Behold the divine power of the sun!
Yeah, it's probably fine. I'll probably actually spinning axe Mystic Shot it. Mystic Shot it.
Behold the sun's holy light!
That's weak to Bastion. Maybe I'll do this. This deals 6 damage. We just want to push damage at this point. Now that there's no Eclipse Dragon coming down next turn, or this turn, and no Aurelion Soul next turn. Be a little bit more conservative.
Let's do this.
Now we need to count how many cards are in our hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need to play a spinning X, discarding this other spinning X if we want to play Farron. I'm just thinking if it's worth playing Farron here. So, Farron allows us to attack next turn. And our opponent will have these 2 units.
What are you waiting for?
If our opponent takes 6, they'll die to double decimate. So, Farron is the correct play, it looks like.
Glorious light rains down.
I'm gonna buff here because if I want to block with. Yeah, with the 3/2. Our opponent has Mystic Shot. It's better to buff this Draven. I'll buff the Draven. If our opponent has Mystic Shot, now we don't have to worry about the overdraw. And the goal of this play is to just open attack and have our opponent dead to double decimate. Force healing.
Crush them to dust!
So we ultimately would like to keep. We'd like to let the Heart Guard go through.
God axes need victims.
We want Heart Guard to go through and want to attack with him last. It's the most threatening attack.
Face my shield.
And there we force the heal. Good. And this block is acceptable currently. That seems currently acceptable also. So here the goal is to burn the opponent out. But we can only save 3 mana, so we're going to start with the House Spider. So this is technically lethal if our opponent taps out for Aurelian Soul. Aurelian Soul I think is discounted by 2 here though. Could have another Star Shaping. I still think the attack is then lethal.
All me. And maybe those other guys. Whatever.
Now to game 3. This is probably going to be about Ladris. Can't imagine that Go Hard is strong enough. I'll try for the go hard if we can. Probably going to keep the Ruination. Definitely keeping the go hard. Deckhand is good, because we can go deckhand go hard against a 2-2. And I'll replace the salvage. This hand is reasonable. Really just depends on what our opponent throws.
Clad in shining sunlight.
So next turn, I want to play the deckhand and then try to go hard. On the 3-2.
My faith protects me. Burn away doubt. I've whipped up something special.
That was successful.
I'll buy some time.
See if he wants to trade.
You cannot sway me.
Perfect way to take that.
Set him off.
Ooh, Scryer. Scryer is very scary.
We chart our path by the stars.
I don't have a way to ping. I think I'm just gonna draw a card here with Twisted Fate. I hope it's decent.
I'm always up for a round or two.
Unfortunately, I lose a spell mana here.
Blue as the Serpentine.
Daylight everlasting.
He can't Bastion, so I should Vengeance it. Probably better to play the Butcher first. I'm not gonna be able to liquid anything.
I'll burn for what I've done. Tread carefully.
Alright, now my opponent's giving me 4, 5. Looks like I can level here. I need to not block if I want to go for leveling. I need to play both of these.
Gotta trust your instincts.
I don't change fate, but I can see it.
Yeah, it sucks. Oh well. And then we just store the spell mana, it looks like.
You pay, I don't have spirits. These are my rules.
The Invoke Insanity is getting out of hand.
The mountain speaks to those who listen.
Pretty much after Ruination. Current dilemma I have is I don't have a go hard to knock off the Aurelian Soul Shield. I hope Zap draws one here. The only other thing you can draw is the last glimpse.
Keep up, keep up.
Okay, that was a good draw. No Aurelian Soul. Promising.
Spilled paint is just accidental art. Through the coral!
Do I need to try to deal additional damage here? So I think anything else I play will just get blocked.
Let's do this!
I believe my opponent has units. And there is a Aurelian Soul. How about that?
They think they're so sculptured.
That disappeared. Absolutely have to knock off the shield. I still have the slight dilemma of, well, what do we do if he has...
You started without me.
There's only one Bastion in that deck, so I'm not going to play around.
We playing bilge rules, son?
But there's a serious risk here that our opponent just has the Bastion.
I do love an audience.
There's Ladris. This is our primary win condition in this matchup. So that's nice.
I am the bulwark against darkness!
Technically,
Daylight
F5
breaks on the
we can play a unit here. Just go ahead and do this.
Sunlight blinds.
I'm gonna play the deck hand.
Didn't know the box had sent for ye.
Don't know much, do ya?
Wonder what our opponent's thinking about. They don't have Bastion, they'd open attack here if they had Bastion. Or they would just go ahead and attack. They wouldn't be thinking about playing a unit. I think our opponent has a Ravoon or something in hand. So now we're going to respond with the Vengeance. That was very good for us to get the Moon Glue. Zenith Blade's very scary here. Yeah, that's not good for us.
A blade forged with blessed sunlight.
I'm gonna glimpse here just to try to stop some damage. Because if our opponent has the bonus to Leona, we take 4 for sure.
Answer to me!
Just run while you can.
Blocking there because the amount of damage that we can deal there is fairly irrelevant. I'm not going to play Pool Shark because I don't want to accidentally draw Atrocity off of it right now. Trying to think about reasons not to just go ahead and play the Ladris. So the alternative to playing Ladris would be trying to draw into Go Hearts. This makes our opponent afraid of actually dying too. In this turn I can play the Pull Shark because I already have the Ladris on board. So if we draw the Atrocity, that's a benefit. It's not a drawback at this point. Again, our biggest problem is Leona has Overwhelm. Now our opponent can attempt to banish the Ladris, and we'll have to glimpse it in response. So now I can't play the...
Sunlight guide you, my brethren. Bask in the light's radiance.
Through the coral!
Try to leave a dent.
You gotta hush. It's nice. Still have to work. We don't have to now worry about the Celestial.
I
So now
know
we can
these
play the Pull
paths
Shark
well.
again.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
So now it's just a hope about getting lucky with Atrocity, pretty much.
Beyond brings annihilation.
So now we need to play the Zap just to have an elusive blocker. And again, it might not work. Could have a Mystic Shot here, but this is the best play.
Like a fish in water.
Wish this wasn't just the third go hard. Our opponent can't Daybreak here, so Ladris gets to actually block the Leona. It's very nice. Still, of course, could have Mystic Shot. Yeah, stunning two enemies is a problem. I can glimpse, but we have to find a way to stop the Great Beyond, or draw Atrocity. Now Atrocity straight wins. This is the only way to give us an out. And we got the trouble. RNG wanted us to win the game, so sometimes you just play to get lucky, and you get lucky. And of important note there, that Pool Shark draw was really critical. Without the Pool Shark draw, we wouldn't have been able to dig that extra card to get to the Atrocity. So it was nice when our opponent went below 6 mana and couldn't remove our Ladris from the game. So we get through round 2 with 2 wins and 1 loss. And I'll be back in approximately 25 minutes with round 3.